I'm Jonas Hellgren. I'm the CEO of Aperio. I'm going to talk a little bit about what do we mean by data quality? What is data quality? How does data quality impact your business decisions or data-driven business decisions? Why should data quality be a foundational part of your data strategy? And then, our approach to solving this problem at scale. And then last but not least, we'll hear from Jane Arnold, who's lived in this world for over 30 years, addressing these kinds of issues from an operator's perspective. So we'll hope you will enjoy that, and that's our topics. No further ado, let's get into it. So basically, most of you here already have a robust data historian in place, probably PyServer, maybe Data Hub, other historians as well. So that's already there for you. So you have easy access to data. You have mountains of opportunities to use this data. So the next logical step then is to address data quality. Validate all of this data. So whether the data in your historian is good or if it's not good. And if it's not good, why? Where is the problem? What kind of problem is there? Why is that important? Because if you want to make any kind of meaningful decisions that's based off of data, then you better trust your data. If you make business decisions based off of bad data, then naturally you'll have a poor outcome, or your data investments is wasted. So let's get into a little bit sort of like what do we mean by data quality? So that's a pretty broad topic, right? So data quality can mean that the data is complete. In other words, there are no gaps in data. It's all there, which we already know. For example, in the Pi system, and interfaces go down, and you end up with missing data. Then when you go to use it, it's not there anymore. It can mean that data is not accurate or data needs to be accurate. So that's are the sensors measuring the physical conditions correctly? Is the information in the historian to be trusted? Data needs to be timely, data needs to be available, and so on and so forth. So here are just some of the examples of algorithms and engines, we call them, that we have built. We have many more, and we keep building more. But you can see here sort of like different categories of things like no data, which sounds like an easy one to address, but at scale, it's not that easy if you want it to be automatic and accurate. So a couple of examples here could be, for example, noise changes could be indicative of a sensor going bad, meaning maybe you can't trust the value that comes out of that sensor. If you have excessive gaps in data, then if you build models based on that data, then the models may not converge, or the outcome of the model will be wrong. So here's just some of the samples, just to kind of like give you a context to sort of like what we call data quality. But it's more than just the signals, right? So any complete data quality solution has to also address metadata. Here we're talking about things like unit of measure, naming standard, tag hierarchies. Why is that important? Well, the easy ones, pounds versus kilos, and sort of aggregate this data into some sort of central analytics function, and now nothing, works, right? Or if you want to compare a heat exchanger from here and heat exchanger from there, naming standards become important, these types of things, right? So like a complete data quality solution has to address these types of metadata issues as well. And the opportunity or the problem or the opportunity, depending on how you look at it, it's just getting bigger, right? There's more and more. Data is growing exponentially. We know. IoT sensors. Now you can buy cheap wireless battery-powered sensors, slap them onto assets. What's happening is people are doing that. All this data is now streaming into your Pi server or your other data historian. That data is now being overlaid on top of the data that you're already looking at. So now it's super important that this data is correct too. What's the problem with IoT sensors? Well, they're cheap and easy to install, but they're also less reliable. So how do you make sure that data is complete and accurate and validated? More users, right? Like, you're all here because of of your interest in data and data analytics and what you can do with data. More and more users, more and more decisions are being made based off of data rather than gut. Operational decisions, data analytics decisions, etc. So the problem or the opportunity is becoming, it's a more important topic tomorrow than it was yesterday. So we have sold that. So Aperio is the only available scalable platform that addresses data quality at scale. We basically plug into the data historian. We sit on top of that, and we monitor, measure, data quality at scale. And if you come to our booth over here, booth 11 in the middle of the floor here, we'll show you a demo of how that works as well. So how does that work? Okay, so we connect to the data source, which in the case of Pi is either through the AF SDK or the web API. We then read data, historical data, and data ongoing. We train our algorithms based on the historical data automatically, no configuration, no set points, none of that. It's all happening sort of like behind the scenes. We quantify the quality of data through something we call the data quality index, which allows you to drill into that and understand specifically, where your biggest problems are. Are you having interfaces that are not working right? Are specific facilities a bigger problem versus others? Are there different types of data issues like flatlining data that are bigger problems than others and so forth? So we quantify the data problem for you in a way that you can easily analyze it and understand it. We then prioritize the issues so that we automatically point you to the biggest opportunity. Okay, click over here, bad interface, fix that, so you can sort of like effectively and as automatically as possible address your data quality problems and end up with better data in your historian. And then we provide tools and workflows to help you organize all of this and remediate it, like case management systems, APIs, and other things that allows you to address the data quality issue in your historian. And we've built a number of different products, for that addresses different types of users. So we have a product for the data owner, just the Pi admin, for example, here, that allows you to very quickly find and address your biggest data issues in Pi. A product for data users. Okay, so a data user might be an analytics users using Prism or something like that, and you want to know that the data that you're about to use is fit for perfect. Press a button, red, yellow, green. Is my data that I'm about to use in my analytics model good enough or not? So that's an Aperio product that we target to that. So we built a number of different products that are specifically targeted to different types of data users. And that is a little bit about Aperio, a little bit about how we look at this data quality problem, why we think it's important, why you should take as your next step in your data strategy to focus on solving this issue.